Hey everyone, today we're ranking the flags of Asia. So as a reminder, we'll be ranking these flags on their aesthetic quality and on how well they fulfill the function of being a flag. We're not ranking these countries by their cultures or their politics or anything like that. So I'll be ranking these flags according to the principles set out in Ted Kaye's Good Flag, Bad Flag. And well, let's just dive straight into today's flags. So the first flag on the list here, this is the current flag of Afghanistan. We're currently in early 2024, and this is what their flag looks like right now. So this is a good example of, well, of a bad example of one of the principles in the book Good Flag, Bad Flag, because you shouldn't be using any kind of script or words in your flag, and I'm assuming this is an Arab script, so this is an F-tier flag, unfortunately. Okay, second flag is Armenia. Armenia's flag is a tricolor, but I'm not a big fan of the color scheme, so I'm gonna put it in D tier. Like it didn't fail. It's a good, it's a proper flag, but it doesn't do anything special. Okay, next up is Azerbaijan. I also don't like this color scheme. And then you've got the crescent moon, which is, it makes it a little bit more engaging, but I'm also gonna put it in D tier. Okay, next up is Bahrain. The flag of Bahrain, it's a good flag. It's definitely more unique than the tricolor, but it doesn't do anything super memorable either. So I think C there. There we go. Okay, next up is Bangladesh. It does a couple of things pretty good. It's unique. It's easy to draw from memory, easy to distinguish from a distance. So I'm going to put it in B tier, but because I also don't think it's super, like it's not great or awesome. So I think I'm going to put it in B tier. Okay, so one of the principles of good flag design is not to have logos that are too intricate. It has to be something that you could draw from memory. And I don't usually like to break this rule, but I think the flag of Bhutan is a really good flag. The color scheme is unique and the dragon middle is intricate, it's detailed. It's not possible to draw this from memory, but I like it a lot. So I'm going to put it in A tier actually. It broke one of the rules, but it broke it in such a way that I kind of respect it. Okay, next up is Brunei. I also really like this flag, to be honest. I think I've got something for diagonal motifs in flags, but then the seal in the middle isn't, great. It's not a dragon. So I don't really know what's going on there. At least this is one thing in the middle. Well, here there's a couple of things happening, and I don't know what they mean. So I think I'm gonna put this in C tier. I really like the flag, but the seal in the middle is too intricate. Okay, next up is Cambodia. The building in the middle is a really cool building in real life, but I don't think this drawing does it justice. So I'm gonna put it in D tier. I don't really like this flag. Okay, next up is China. The Chinese flag is, of course, a very iconic flag. Red with the yellow stars on the upper hoist side. I think it's a B tier flag. Like, it's definitely a good flag. It really fulfills the purpose of being a flag really well, but it's not amazing. Okay, next up is Cyprus. I would have put this in Europe because I think it's a member of the European Union. But anyway, I think it's an F-tier flag having the outline or the shape of your country on your flag. I don't think that's good design. Okay, next up is Georgia. I really like the flag of Georgia. It's similar to the English flag, but it has got 4 more crosses on it. Yeah, I really like it. I think it's an A-tier flag. Not quite S-tier, but it's a really good flag. Okay, next up is India. The Indian flag is also quite iconic, though it's not quite as unique as some of the other flags that I consider iconic. The logo in the middle is simple enough, and it does distinguish the flag a little bit. So I think I'm going to put it in B tier. It does fulfill the purpose of being a flag pretty well. I'm not a huge fan of the color scheme, but the logo in the middle makes up for that. Okay, next up is Indonesia. It's just, 2 colors. It's very similar to the flag of Monaco. It's almost identical to it. It's a good flag. I'm gonna put it in C or D tier. I'm gonna put it in D tier. There we go. Okay, next up is the flag of Iran. So I believe there's a script on the edges of the bands of the flag of Iran. If it weren't for that, I think it would be a really good flag, like B, maybe even A-level flag. But because of the script, it has to go down a little bit, but also the script is not necessarily, it's unnecessary, I think, for the flag. If you were to draw it without the script, you would still recognize it as a flag of Iran. So I think I'm gonna not mark it down too much for that. I think I'm gonna put it in C tier. There we go. Next up is the flag of Iraq. So this is the first flag that we see today with the pan-Arab colors. But there is a script all right on the middle of it. It's a main part of the flag, so I'm gonna put it in F tier. Next up is Israel. The flag of Israel is pretty good. The color scheme is engaging. The logo in the middle, of course, is iconic. I'm gonna put it. I think I'm gonna put it in A tier. I think it's a really good flag actually. No, yeah, it's a good flag. Okay, next up is Japan. Very similar to the flag of Bangladesh, but with a different color scheme, and the dot is in the middle of the flag, in the very center. I like the color scheme more, so I'm gonna put it one level higher. I'm gonna put it in A tier. That's a very subjective choice right there. Okay, next up is Jordan, another flag with the pan-Arab colors. I think this is a pretty good flag. Yeah, I think I'm gonna B or C. I think I'm gonna put it in B tier. Yeah, I really like the flag. The color scheme works for me in this arrangement. Oh yeah, it's a good flag. Okay, next up is Kazakhstan, the first Central Asian stan of today. I think it's a pretty solid flag, pretty unique. But the bird in the middle makes it a little bit too complex, but then again, I do like it. I'm gonna put it in C tier next to Iran. Because it did something it shouldn't have done, but it also works without it, and it's pretty aesthetic. Okay, next up is the flag of Kuwait. I don't know the aesthetic decision they made here to have the triangle like cut off the top of the triangle. I'm not a fan of that. So I'm gonna put it in D there. That's my personal opinion. Okay, next up is Kyrgyzstan, another Central Asian country. I'm gonna put this one in D tier. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna put it in C tier. Yeah, it's like the flag of Kazakhstan. I kind of like what they did because it's quite unique, but it's not good flag design. So I'm gonna put it in C tier. There we go. Next up is Laos. The flag of Laos is pretty good as well. I'm gonna put it in C tier as well. It's a good flag, but yeah, not amazing for me. Next up is Lebanon. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to fail this flag as well. You could have done a logo of a tree or like an icon of a tree, but drawing an actual tree, like realistically, I don't think that's good flag design. Next up is Malaysia. The flag of Malaysia quite similar to the American flag, but then with the crescent moon and a star. Where the 50 stars are in America. I think this is a C tier flag. It's a good flag, but also not amazing. Next up is the Maldives. It's a pretty weird design with the concentric like rectangles, but it is unique and the color scheme does work. So I think I'm gonna put it in B tier. It definitely fulfills the function of being a flag well. Next up is Mongolia. Another one of those flags with a somewhat complex, not super complex, but somewhat complex motif. But I kind of like it. It kind of works for me. So I'm going to put it in C there. Okay, next up is Myanmar. Another pretty good flag. Once again, fulfilling the purpose of a flag pretty well because, it's unique. You can draw it from memory. You can recognize it from a distance. So I'm going to put it in B tier. There we go. Okay, next up, Nepal. So, there's only one choice for this. This is an S tier flag. So the Nepalese flag is the only flag in the world that's not a rectangular shape, but it's the two triangles on top of each other. Well, this is just such a unique flag. It does its own thing. It does it well. S tier, no doubt about it. All right, next up is North Korea. So once again, all politics aside, this is just debating or discussing the flag. It's a pretty good flag. The color scheme works. It's iconic, yes it is. I think this might even be an A tier flag. I think it's a good flag. Okay, next up is Oman. So one thing I don't really like about flag design is when there is a white band at the edge of the flag. It might be something personal, but I don't think that's good flag design. And then there's a somewhat intricate logo on the upper hoist side. So I think I'm going to put this one in D tier. Next up is Pakistan. The flag of Pakistan is actually really good, I think. It's simple, but still, it does what it needs to do. It's A or B tier. I'm going to put it in B tier because it's not super unique, but I do think it's a pretty good flag. Okay, next up is Palestine. Flag of Palestine, very similar to the flag of Jordan, but then without the star. And to be honest, I don't think this adds or subtracts anything from the flag, so I'm gonna put it in the same category, B-tier flag. Okay, next up is the Philippines. Fun fact about the flag of the Philippines is that in times of war, the flag is flipped upside down, so then the red is on top. I think this is a good flag as well. Recognizable, somewhat possible to draw from early. The sun is somewhat intricate, but it's still doable. I think this is also a B-tier flag. It's a good flag. Okay, next up is Qatar. I'm gonna put it just in the same category as Bahrain. It's a unique flag, but it's not amazing. I don't think it's amazing. Next up is the Russian flag. Another one of the flags with a white band at the edge of it. And so this is, I presume, where the Pan-Slavic colors come from, that you see a lot of in Eastern Europe. I'm gonna put this one in D tier with the other simple tricolors. Okay, next up is Saudi Arabia. So they have, well, some script written right in the center. The sword is pretty epic, but yeah, with the script being the main part of the flag, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to put this one in F tier. Okay, next up is Singapore. This flag of Singapore is pretty good. It's similar, well, it's a two-color scheme similar to the one of Indonesia, but then it's got some added swirl to it with the stars and this crescent moon. So I think I'm gonna put this one in B tier. Yeah, it does something unique. The crescent moon isn't super unique, but then the 5 stars makes it stand out quite as well. Okay, next up is the flag of South Korea. And I also think this is a really good flag, to be honest. I'm not sure what the symbolism means, but I'm sure it means something. It's iconic. It's very iconic. This might even... Yeah, I'm going to give this one an S tier ranking. There we go. Okay, next up is Sri Lanka. Yeah, so I do think there's a little bit too much going on in this flag. The individual elements are pretty good, but adding them together is not great. And then the line is a little bit too, I don't know, not to my liking. I'm going to put this one in D tier. Sorry, Sri Lanka. Okay, next up is Syria. Another flag with the pan-Arab colors. The tricolor with 2 stars in the middle. I think this is a C tier flag. Like, it's super mid. It's a good flag, but not amazing. Okay, the flag of Taiwan. I've always found this flag to be rather, I don't know, basic. The star is like, the sun, I mean, is something, I don't know. It doesn't feel very aesthetic to me. So I'm going to put this one in D tier as well. Okay, next up is the flag of Tajikistan. So the color scheme is somewhat similar to the flag of Iran. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, because the Tajiks are also a Persian people, or, well, the majority of Tajiks are. And then there is the thing in the middle. I'm also going to put this one in C tier, I think. Once again, a good flag, but also not amazing. Okay, next up is Thailand. The flag of Thailand is also one of those flags that's a good flag. Not super memorable, but it definitely fulfills the purpose of being a flag well, so C tier, right in the middle. Okay, this is the flag of Timor-Leste, or East Timor. I really like this flag. It also does something quite different than most of the flags in the world. I think this, for me, is an A tier, maybe even an S tier flag. I'm gonna put it in S tier. I really like this flag. Okay, next up is Turkey. The flag of Turkey is a pretty good flag. It's iconic. It fulfills the purpose of being a flag pretty well. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Okay, this is the flag of Turkmenistan. I'm afraid this is not working for me. The motif on this band here on the left side, it's way too intricate. I'm not a big fan of the color scheme. I am afraid I'm going to put you in F tier, Turkmenistan. Try again and do better this time. Okay, United Arab Emirates, one other pan-Arab flag. And then the red band, they picked a very like fluo kind of red, and I'm not a big fan, so I'm going to put this one in D tier. Okay, next up is Uzbekistan, another, or in the last Central Asian country of today. It is unique. The color scheme isn't necessarily all to my liking, and they put a little bit too many stars there in my estimation. So I'm gonna put it in D tier. Okay, the flag of Vietnam, simple, red with a yellow star in the middle. I think that's, yeah, it's iconic, it's good, it's a good flag. It serves its purpose, yeah, B tier. Okay, then the last flag of today is the flag of Yemen, a very simple Arab flag with a tricolor. I think I am gonna put this one in C tier. It's a good flag, but not great. It doesn't do anything special. All right, there we go. This is a final ranking for the flags of the countries of Asia. Let me know what you think in the comments. And this was the 5th video in the series I'll be doing on covering all of the flags around the world. And well, next week is the last episode. It will be the flags of Oceania. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.